What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Okay, in the efforts to keep these shorter, I pulled just 2 sets of cards, then I can clarify a little bit. We're gonna start with the challenge energies. So we are getting the Two of Swords upright, and then we're getting the Black Madonna reversed, and it says, I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love, but that's what's reversed. So I'm feeling like there is a decision that you need to make. You're at some sort of crossroads. Maybe you've been avoiding something. This person is blindfolded. Avoiding something, resisting transforming your pain and suffering into love. Why is that? Why have you been resisting this change or needing to make the decision, but it's like you haven't made the decision? Because this is the challenge. Okay, we're getting Queen of Wands upright. Could be a fire sign energy. Leo, Sag, Aries. So it could be a woman. Could just be your own like creative, sort of sensual side. Let's see. Ace of Wands, more sexy energy. This is like, maybe this is a person you're interested in, or Knight of Pentacles upright, and then the Six of Cups. To me, Six of Cups upright, this feels like maybe a past connection, something very passionate, a soulmate connection, very sweet, very genuine. A genuine emotional and soul, like spiritual connection. It's like maybe you want to reconcile, see how the Knight is bringing this pentacle and it's going towards this past connection. Now, the question is, what are you waiting for? Why aren't you making a choice here? Because if this is part of the challenge, is that you'd like to do this, or you'd like to have a passionate new beginning, maybe with a Queen of Wands, or if you're a woman, like, maybe you want to like reignite your own eros, you know what I mean? Your own radiance and magnetism and feminine sort of sensual energy, because you would like love, or to be in a loving connection, or to invite love back into your life. So what's the deal? Like, why haven't you made a choice? Because look, Two of Swords, hands crossed, heart space is blocked like this, and the blindfold is on. What is it that you haven't been wanting to see this because you know that it's going to require some transformation? Eight of Wands is things moving very quickly and aligning very quickly. So I'm asking, why haven't you made a decision? Oh, okay. Probably because when you make this choice, there it is, the Tower. When you make a choice, if you choose love, right? Because to me, this is like really choosing passion. And again, it's like that very sexual energy with the Ace of Wands. Again, a past soul connection with the Six of Cups. He's like giving her this cup with a beautiful little flower in it, and they're young in the picture, and so it's an innocence and a sweetness. But if you pick this, or if you choose this to go in the direction of this, some other shit's gonna fall apart. There's gonna be some big boom, you know? Like, you're gonna experience a loss materially, because it will happen very quickly. If you're to choose this other thing or something new, then something else is gonna come apart probably really fast. So what is this Tower? What does this indicate? The Five of Wands reversed. Well, it would be the end of drama, but it would be a judgment day. And something about your maybe financial instability, or your dependence financially on a person or a situation, like you not feeling super independent or self-reliant, like that's going to come into the light. Like, you might not have a lot of money, or you might be like, oh, I don't have a lot to offer, or I've been in a situation where I've gotten my material needs met. I'm suffering sexually and emotionally, but like, I don't have to worry about money. If I move towards love, then I'm going to experience a financial loss, and it's going to put me in a vulnerable position, like also materially. But the drama will be over, because this is like too many cooks in the kitchen. It's too many conflicting forces fighting against one another. It's drama. When I see this card, I feel drama. Drama. But that goes away. So, one more. Yeah, look. Sorry, my nose is a little dry. Two of Pentacles in the reverse is juggling, needing to make a choice. Again, it's 2 cards with a 2 on it. This one's reversed. 2s always indicate a choice that needs to be made. So you've got to stop going back and forth, again, flip-flopping, and choose. But again, you got to face the fears. There's no way out of this but through. And there's no way out of the challenge without facing the music. You're going to have to face the music. I don't think it's going to even be as bad as you might be anticipating. It could be bad. It could be really uncomfortable. But there is a light at the end of this tunnel. Let's see what the advice is. The light is that you would experience real love. It comes with its own set of challenges, but it's different. And there's something about making, and I've lived through this enough times to know that like when you make a difficult decision where you're going to experience some loss or some reckoning with your ego, with your insecurities, like, but when you make a choice like this and you know that you're being spiritually guided to do it and it's the correct move, it's like spiritually correct, it feels like it's in integrity, like it works out better than you're usually imagining. But like you won't know until you do it. I've done it enough times that I trust, but it's not easy when you're doing it for like the first time, especially if it's a really big change. So what's the advice? Yeah, the advice is to make a choice. We're getting the third card, that's a 2. We've got 2 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles reversed, and then the advice is the 2 of Wands. Get off the fucking fence. Make a decision. This isn't an easy decision, but the world is at your fingertips. He's literally, he's got one chain, wand is chained to the castle wall. Yeah, if you stay here chained to what feels stable or secure, you'll have your security and your stability in some sense. But also you're always going to wonder what could have been, because he's holding the world like, wow, there's all these other opportunities. But in order to have those, I'm going to have to leave my castle, my safe little castle walls, or whatever situation you've been in, where you've been kind of camping out, hiding out. So it's coming with Fatima reversed. And this card says, the mother of Imams, love is my lineage and gratitude is my religion. Love and gratitude. That's what I'm saying. If you were to choose love instead of safety or security or some image that, whatever, some shit that you've been doing that's been masking your maybe deeper issues. It's not as obvious in the situation you're in, but if you're to leave that or end something, it's going to become very obvious that you're not as stable as it looks, or things are not as good as they seem, or financially you're not in the position that it appears that you're in. Something like that, which again, your ego will take a slap. The humbling is in the crumbling, baby. Like, I wouldn't be as grateful for every little thing that I have now, and I've received many more blessings, but I had to go through some seriously shitty losses that were extremely humiliating in the moment, and my ego needed to like crumble and fall apart in that moment. But it freed me from my attachments to things that ultimately weren't going to serve me anyway, and also just set me free from worrying about what everyone thinks about me. I don't fucking care anymore what people think about me. I'm like, you don't like me? That's your business. I like me, and if you like you, it helps a lot. I'm not saying that it's never going to get under your skin and that you don't want people's approval, because some part of us does want people's approval. However, if that's what you're living for and then you're suffering for it, when you set yourself free from a lot of expectations, there's a part of you that's going to have like the middle finger, as someone I know says, the middle finger frequency of, it doesn't matter. I don't need your validation to be okay. It's not to say that you don't appreciate it from the right people, but also that's not what makes you worthy. That's not what defines you. Okay? So let's just get a couple more here. With the 2 of Wands as the advice, and love and gratitude as the thing that you really need to focus on more, because that's what's reversed. We're also getting the 3 of Swords. Yeah, the advice is that you're going to have to go through some heartache. There's definitely some heartache, some grief, some pain that will happen as a result of this change. However, your heart will open again. It's like you open up your heart to the correct things, so that maybe where you've been putting your energy, once you end it, it will cause some pain, but the pain isn't permanent. Like, this is an opening of your heart again. What else? King of Wands. You come into your power. Look, that's the counterpart to the Queen of Wands. It's the match. This is like a passionate, powerful connection. I feel this is what you want, and this is what you were made to have. But to have it, you can't bypass your lesson. There's some lesson of letting go and of facing your ego and of your attachments, the things you've been clinging to that cause you pain and suffering, that you're refusing to transform into love. To have what you really want, you've got to integrate this lesson. There is no getting around it. There isn't. So the more you try to avoid it, the more you prolong your own pain. And that's comfortable for a lot of people. A lot of people are way more comfortable in their pain. They'll say they're not, but they are, because then they don't make any different choice. So the longer that you stay in a situation and it's painful and you continue choosing it over and over and over again, and then your pain keeps going on and on and on, it's familiar to you. It's what's comfortable. I'm not saying you like it. I'm just saying there's a part of you that feels more safe and comfortable in the pain than in the unknown, which would be where love lives. It's like, love don't live here no more. Wherever you've been, it's definitely not rooted in love, because what you're craving is that like passionate and also spiritually connected emotional relationship, not just like what looks good emotionally on the surface, but it's very shallow. You want to swim in the deep end, then you have to face your shadow. You have to go deeper. And then you can meet someone who will gladly meet you in your depth. But you can't swim in the shallow end and then be like, but I want a deep relationship. I want deep intimacy. I want a deep spiritual partnership. Then get out of the shallow end. Stop swimming in the kiddie pool. Put on your floaties and jump in the deep end. So one more here. Empress reversed as the advice. You've also got to face some distorted feminine energy, a part of you that's played the damsel or prince in distress, maybe a man, maybe a woman. Some part of you that liked being needy because other people came to your rescue. You learned that somewhere, you know, but it's like that energy, that or you have used your emotions to get what you want in a manipulative way. But then of course you end up meeting people who are also emotionally manipulative and shitty to you. And then you're like, why did I do this? But it's okay. Like, it's all good, you guys. I don't judge people's past, because where they're at is where they need to be. Like, I've made a lot of decisions that people were like, that's a really stupid decision. Why are you doing that? Or why are you choosing that job? Why are you choosing that partner? Like, why are you doing that? And it's like, because this is what my soul needs to learn it this way, obviously. There's no other way that I'm going to learn it. So no matter how stupid it looks from the outside, clearly I needed to go through those things to learn. And that's what I'm feeling here. You've got to face some of your own distorted feminine energy where you maybe haven't loved yourself or honored yourself emotionally, or you've used your emotions or your body or your sexual energy to get what you want and then created pain. And so it's like, the more that you can just face it and embrace it and be like, okay, I did that, and that's the best I could do at the time. I can do better now. I deserve better. These other people deserve better. But like I said, you probably had a weird relationship with your mother or mother figure, and that has led to a lot of problematic stuff in your relationships, but this can be healed. So we're just getting Page of Wands and then the Four of Wands reversed. You got to turn some home situation will be turned upside down. You've got to take a leap of faith that you've probably been avoiding, because he's on the edge of the cliff with literally like his little underwear and socks in a baggie, traveling very light on the edge of the cliff, like not even looking, kind of like, la, like I'm just gonna like jump and the net will appear. But that's sort of the energy that you're gonna have to embrace here to get what you really want. And again, some home situation, interesting that it comes with the distorted feminine. If you've been either in a relationship with a woman or just in general, like your own feminine energy has been suppressed or it's been distorted, and then that led you to a dysfunctional relationship or some sort of like fake family energy, not fake family, but you know what I mean? Like not actually happy or joyful. Like it's just been painful, but it's been maybe stable. That's obviously got to go. Things are going to be turned upside down. But like I said, it wasn't rooted in a healthy energy anyway. And again, if there's a woman in your life that you're going to have to deal with or confront or whatever, that's part of the equation here, then that's part of your lesson. Why is Empress here? Yeah. I feel that maybe you've been dishonest in some ways to get your needs met, and maybe it did include a woman, or like I said, using your own feminine energy but in a distorted way. And you've got to face the music. That's all. You've got to like take ownership of the ways that you've like been dishonest or lied or deceived or sort of betrayed people to get what you want, and understand that you built a house, a metaphor of a house, unless it's a literal home and a family situation. You've built something that was stable on a rotten foundation, and so in order to have the stability that you actually crave with the emotional and sexual and passionate energy included, you're going to have to build it on a different foundation. It's got to actually be stable. Like, it needs to be rooted in love, not in deception. And then the death card is in the reverse. So this transformation is in the midst of happening, but it hasn't fully happened yet. So we'll just cut this deck. Yeah, oh, I love this. Okay, the red goddess Lolita as the final card. Playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. Let me just check the time. Okay, yeah, I've been getting this message a lot lately, like I've shared with you guys. My word of the year is joy. A lot of spiritual people take themselves way too seriously. I think that's so boring and exhausting. I'm definitely in a year of choosing lightness. I will do the deep work, but it can be done with a different lens. You don't have to take it all so serious. It doesn't have to be heavy all the time. You can like read the book Existential Kink, which is the best. It's like my favorite shadow work book, and it's written in such a playful, sexy, fun way to do shadow work. Like shadow work doesn't have to be 25,000 hours of journaling about your sad little inner child. It's not to dishonor the parts of you that experience pain, but there's a different approach, a more advanced, a more like a lighter approach to doing this type of thing. And I highly recommend. I mean, in my off hours, I'm literally watching like podcasters, like drag queens, like millennial podcasters, people in LA that have podcasts. Like I don't know. I need laughter. Laughter is medicine. Playfulness can also lead you back to the light. And you need to have a sense of humor, because even when bad things are happening, I mean, I have a dark sense of humor because I've been through so much shit. Like humor got me through it, and it still does. But I'm just saying, like, it's not as, like, nothing is really as serious as we usually make it, even the most intense things. When you can have a different lens and look at it from a lighter perspective, it will help you so much. But it's like, this is in your life, you're meant to experience this playful, sensual, lighter energy too. It's not all meant to be pain and suffering. You've been choosing that. You can choose differently, but you have to give yourself permission to experience joy. Do you know how many people get triggered when you start getting happy and they're like, why aren't you sad? Why won't you come and be sad with me? Let's go and commiserate together and talk about all our bullshit and our old sad stories and be sad together. And it's like, I'm over it. I don't want to do that anymore. Who do you think you are? Well, guess what? Some of us are tired of going into the same old trauma loop over and over again. There's a better way, you guys. There's a different way. Maybe you needed that at a certain point. Now you need some joy. You need to laugh again and lighten the hell up. So I love you guys. If this is your vibe, then get on the wait list for my membership that's opening soon. I'm doing applications first, so that'll be the first process that we're going to go through. Applications should open this week. You can get on the wait list at the link below. It's still, I haven't even announced the name yet, but I'm dropping that like ASAP. I pushed it a little bit back from my original schedule, but we're on track to open up applications. So get on the wait list if you're not already, and then everything else is below. All the links, the podcast, Strip Podcast, to work together one-to-one. And I've got new videos from Mary Magdalene too. I'm gonna do one of those next. So I'm sending you guys so much love, links below to connect. And other than that, I will see you on the next one. Go have a laugh.